be your host for the seminar. Before the session starts, let us offer our tributes to our mother institute ICAI by invocation of our motto song. Now, I would like to invite the chairman of the Visakhapatnam branch, CA Prashant Kumar Panda sir, to kindly address the students present.
Prashant sir. Just a minute. Chairman, you may address the gathering.
Respected Chairman of SICASA Chairman, Swarup, and other MC members, Speaker Shruthi Sanghavi, and other students, good evening to all. And today session is very much important to all the students who are appearing for the examination. Before examination, preparation is very much important for clearing the group, because as it is a professional examination, all the students require pre-planned preparation, and we are having one example of this pre-planned examination preparation who got the rank. I feel that she's compulsory and she followed this pre-planned procedure. Because of that only she's got the rank. Moreover, everybody, where we stop studying, the rankers will still, they want to continue 1 more hour. We feel that okay, we will stop here and we'll for the day we had studied more and learned more. But the ranker who got the rank, they feel that no, we have to study 1 more hour so that we'll get a winning edge. That is only the one secret behind them to get the all India ranks. My dear students, while writer examination, all our professional students, without preparation, nobody is going to give the attempt. Only it differs how you present your paper in 3 hours. Sometimes we feel that paper is given tough. No, paper is always given normally. It's not a kind of that the paper is given this attempt tough and next attempt is easy. And some people, some students also feel that May paper is very easy than the November attempt. This is a wrong perception, because paper setter and the who is preparing the question paper, he will not going to prepare in the having a point of that this May we have to give a good percentage, so we will prepare in a easier manner. So in the next November, no, I don't like November month, so I will give the paper in a tough manner. No, it's not like that. It's all about our preparation. Sometimes what happens is the areas we feel that it is not very much important, we left that. And sometimes we feel this is a category question, so this is definitely it is going to come. There is no such kind of composition of questions that it is important and it is not important areas. Our institute will prepare the question paper based on the students' knowledge and subject, and what are the recent changes, recent trends is there. Because most of the tutors are also quoted that our institute is like a rising sun. Rising sun means we always concentrate on the recent amendments, upcoming changes from the last 6 months, 1 year. What are the changes was happened in the different acts and subjects. We need to have a proper exam preparation, and I also request the students to have to attempt for the mock test conducted by the branches. This year is also under the chairmanship of Swarup. He's also conducted 2-3 mock test seasons, which is for the foundation, intermediate, and final. Our Visakhapatnam branch is also appointed an evaluationer who is valued the paper and give the feedback 1-to-1, which is very much useful to them. And it is while writing examination and while making preparation, preparing a plan for preparation, we come to know that where we are getting mistakes. Sometimes we feel that okay, if I write the answer in a generalized manner, we're going to get the marks. No, because we are writing act whatever it says, we have to represent as it is by using our logical thinking. For example, in case of shall, if we use will, mandatory provision is going to be non-mandatory provision. We feel that what's the difference between shall and will? Shall says should, it's a mandatory. When it comes to will, it's like to be like it's not optional, okay, you can do or not do. That matters also while we appearing in the examinations on the preparation. And revision is very much important before you're going to attempt the examination. Preparation, revision, these two is much is required. Every time once the subject is completed, every Sunday weekend revision is required to take up all the subject with you. You shouldn't leave the subject here. Okay, accounts is completed, I will start the law. Once your law is completed, you even go to start auditing. Not like that. Simultaneously, you have to take the syllabus with you, and you have to continue with that same tempo how you started. In the early stage of preparation starts, your tempo was very high, very interest will get. And by coming when exam is approaching closer, little bit closer, you will feel that okay, we studied more, we will take little bit of rest. When it's coming very near, means 10-15 days, then we will start running. That approach shouldn't be there. The tempo should be in the same manner, and you should have to have a revision at each and stage. Once you complete the subject, revision is very much important. And more about to tell and describe all these things, we have a very good speaker who is a all India rank holder. And I also congratulate chairperson for arranging this wonderful session for the benefit of all the students before going to examination. It's a wonderful idea. Thank you, chairman, and thank you SICASA Visakhapatnam team for arranging such a beautiful and wonderful informative session for the benefit of the all students. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for those wonderful and inspiring words. Now, I would like to invite the SICASA chairman, C.S. Swaroop sir, to speak a few words.
Uh, First of all, Chairman of Visakhapatnam branch, CA Prashant Kumar Panda, and Speaker of today's session, CA Shrusthi Sanghavi. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. And my dear students who are appearing for the May 23 exam, welcome you all for the today's session. Let me not take much of time because you're all busy preparing. So I don't want to take much of time of your time. So you have to take the best inputs from CS Shrusthi Sanghavi, who's a rank holder. But one thing I wanted to mention is the exam, what you're going to appear is like an IPL match, which usually happens for 3 hours. And even our exam happens for 3 hours. So all the players who are playing for the IPL, so do you think the practice, what they make, what they undergo for the months together is a key role to play? No, that's not enough. The 3 hours of the play, what they're going to play in the pitch is the very important. So whatever practice you have, but if the 3 hours is not used effectively, the match is gone. Similar way, till now, till the exams point of time, what you're preparing is one part. How you're utilizing the 3 hours of exam is a major key part. There are many stories where people presented well in the exam, did not prepare well, but passed the exam. So there are cases of this also. So it's all about how effectively, efficiently you're using the 3 hours is an important gameplay. So I don't want to take much of your time. Take the key inputs from CA Shrusthi Sanghavi. She's an All India third rank holder in final and 10th rank holder in CA Inter. So she's the best person to deliver and motivate you with all the key inputs you need right now. I'm handing over the proceedings to the Vice Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your wonderful words. Now, each and everyone, this is a live interactive and a Q&A session. Now, I'm delighted to introduce our guest speaker for today's online seminar, C.A. Shrusthi Sanghavi. She is a remarkable individual who has achieved many great accomplishments at such a young age. Shrusthi has cleared all levels of CA examinations in her very first attempt, including CA final in May 22 attempt with an All India rank of 3 and CA intermediate in May 2019 with an All India rank of 10. Her passion for chartered accountancy started at a very young age and was influenced by her family members who are also practicing chartered accountancy. Shrishti's commitment to her education and profession is evident through her achievement of certified courses of Forex and Treasury Management of ICAI and her current pursuit of AGCA UK, where she has already cleared strategic business reporting in March 2023. Srishti's academic excellence is not limited to her professional studies. She completed her schooling at Lord's Convent High School, where she excelled in her studies, achieving 93% in her 12th standard and standing first in her school. Her leadership skills were also recognized when she was appointed as the vice head girl of Students' Council. Srishti is also passionate about elocution and dramatics and has won the best award twice at the school level. It is an honor to have an accomplished individual with us today, and I am confident that her insights and experiences will inspire us all. So, without further delay, let's welcome C.A. Shrusthi Sanghavi to our webinar.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vice Chairman, for this warm welcome. And thank you so much to the branch of Visakhapatnam and Mr. Chairman, sir, and CS Swaroop, sir, for giving me this opportunity to at least be helpful to someone. So let me tell you, this session is, in this session, I'm going to share my strategies that I had followed during my exams, and not just during the 3 hours of exams, but during the whole 16 to 17 days of examination. And I share some tips and tricks. And most importantly, I will also share the mistakes that you should totally avoid. So before starting, I just want to know how many of you are going to appear for the May 23 attempt. Can you please all write it in the chat box? Or you can raise your hand. Okay, so just 9 days before the exam starts. Okay. Okay, I got it now. So, very good evening, everyone. I hope you all must be doing very well. So our topic, as you all know, is how to persistently, how to effectively manage those 3 hours of your examination. But persistent preparation leads to excellent execution, and excellent execution leads to desired results. Now, I guess almost the preparation stage of yours is almost done for those who are going to appear for the May 23 exams. But now the main step comes, the execution level. That is the main CA examination days are just 10 days ahead of you. So, first of all, wishing you all the very best in advance for your examination. To plan those 3 hours of your exams, you need to plan those 16 or 18 days of your exams first. So I will take next few minutes to focus on the exam days preparation as well, and then we'll shift to the 3 hours, how to manage those 3 hours. You know, my father always tells me that well begin is half done. So first, your first paper is for final exam, it is financial reporting, and for intermediate, it is accounting paper. So first tip, first suggestion of mine is you should start preparing for your first paper at least a week before your exams. You should prepare your first paper at such a level that you must be very much confident that my paper is going to be excellent. At least I will score exemption. That confidence, mind well, that confidence of yours will definitely help you to face the next 7 papers. So, the first thing that you should follow is pen down your schedule. The entire schedule of yours should not be in your mind. It should be on paper. Write it down. I will say hourly schedule for your exam days should be mentioned. You should know which chapters you should do in the morning, which chapters you're going to do after you come from the exam. So please pen down your schedule, hourly schedule, and not just bluffing it out. Second thing, after you come from the exams, first you should start with easy yet important chapters. Those chapters who take short time, because once you are done with 4-5 chapters by the end of the day after you come from the exams, that gives you so much confidence. And in the next day, you have a leave before the exam. In the morning, you should start with lengthy and important chapters. Excuse me, can we all please turn our cameras on? Because then this session, it is an interactive session. So I request everyone to please switch on their cameras. Switch on their videos, please. Okay.
I think they can unmute the mic, but like they'll be feeling shy to the. Vice Chairman?
There's some disturbance, I guess.
Yeah, that was got rectified.
Okay, no issues. So I'll start again.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
Okay. So as we all know, this course is like an ocean. It's never ending. There is plenty of content in all the subjects. So I know you all know what to do, but it is very much important to know what not to do. Prioritize your chapters. There is a ABC analysis. I think you must have heard the A category chapters of yours. You should never leave them. You should definitely go through all those chapters in very much detail during your exams also, because you know the in just 1.5 day it is not possible to cover up all the chapters, all the subjects. It is next to impossible. It is very much possible that if you do all the important chapters, the just by going through the past trends, if you can make up which chapters are very much important and you go through them in detail and you just do it very much thoroughly, there are high chances that you are going to clear your exams. So instead of doing everything, do what is important. Second thing, during those exam days, please maintain your sleep schedule very much. Your body needs at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep at a stretch. I had not studied after 12 and woke up before 7:30 during my entire exam days. And also in the afternoon, please have at least 45 minutes to 1 hour nap, because that refreshes your mind when you're during your leave. And also in the May attempt, I have gone through the exam timetable and got to know that there is one extra leave for final students in paper 3 and for intermediate students in paper 2. That one leave is a blessing for you all. Uh, Trust me, that those 20 extra 24 hours that you're going to have will make your two papers, the next two papers, very much easy for you. The preparing for those next two papers and not just one paper. If you have one leave, try to focus on the next two papers and not just the next one. Then all of you must be all must be telling you that don't eat junk food. I definitely believe please have homemade proper food during the exam days. And our as Prashant sir said that our profession is like a rising sun. It is very much true. So go through the amendments for those who are appearing for the May 23 as well as for the next attempts. Go through the amendments very well in detail, because that amendments can carry they generally carry good weightage. And now the most important thing, a doctor only knows the intensity of a disease, right? So the people, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना, we all know that. So people are definitely going to give you advices. If this is not your first attempt, then they are definitely going to scare you that why can't you clear that, everyone else is clearing. So please, you have 2 years, listen from one and just let that go from the other one. And don't communicate with pessimistic people. You need to identify who is going to motivate you and who is going to bring you down. So don't talk with those people during, at least during your exam days. And please, I will say, please convey and try to convey your family to support you well during those exam days, your mentally, because that is very much needed. I have been very much fortunate that my family was my constant support. You need that support very much during your exam days, because I can imagine if the just 9 to 10 days before your exams, this phase is just a roller coaster of emotions. Sometimes the motto is very much high, I'm going to clear it, and sometimes I don't know if I'm going to pass it or not. So that is going to happen, but for that you need to have that emotional support from your family, from your friends. So if in case your parents or your family, they don't get that, they don't have that clarity of how hard and how much support you need, then please tell them to have a conversation with those who have cleared CA exams or who are into this field. So now we have, I think I have covered almost all the important points for the exam days during the 16 to 18 days of examination. So now coming back on the coming to our main topic for the day, that is how to effectively plan those 3 hours of your exams. Our exams starts at 2 I'm sorry, 1:45 1:45 no sorry 2, yes, our exam starts at 2, and first thing that we have is a blessing. I can assure you that the reading time, the 15 minutes reading time, is very much important. You should effectively use those 15 minutes of your reading. Now, first, you all know the first question is the compulsory one. So I had always gone through this strategy. First, I gave 5 to 7 minutes of the reading time into the compulsory question, because you don't have any option to skip that. After that, I don't know whether it's true or not, but in my case, 90% of the cases, after reading the compulsory question, I started reading from the back. So I started the 6th question, and generally I have observed that the 6th question is attainable and it's comparatively easier. So if luck is with you, the 6th question might be a good one. So I always read the last question first, and after that, at least have that goal that during the reading 15 minutes of reading time, you at least cover 2 to 3 questions, minimum 3 questions. At least have a gist of the chapters, because everyone must have told you that writing speed is very much important in all the subjects, because the papers are really lengthy. But there are 2 speeds which are very much needed. First is writing speed, of course, but second is reading speed as well. I have known people that take 15 minutes of reading time in just one question, and they're not able to even finish one whole question. So please maintain try to maintain at least 2 types of speed, writing and reading both. For writing, you all know that you should definitely join test series, or you should definitely write the mock test MTPs and other papers available. At least three papers for each subject before you give your final exam. That is very much needed, because if you know at least because I have known people and I have known cases that they are able to attempt only 70 to 80 marks of the paper. So there are high chances that you might not be able to clear it, because you just straight away lost 20 to 30 marks. So just try that you attempt all the questions, even if you're not sure and if you think this is going to be wrong, but just write it. Who knows, you might get at least 1.5 or 2 marks out of 10. As you all are going to appear for the CA exams, you definitely know the importance of 1 mark. 1 mark can create a lot of difference in pass or fail. It's just like that. It's either way. So attempt all the questions, don't leave. If even in my practical subjects paper, I know that you cannot cover all the theory chapters. I had covered the main important chapters in the strategic management exam of final, but in that theory also, I had just if some theory had, I don't know, I didn't know the whole context of it, but I just wrote what I knew something about it. So but I had got 2 marks out of 5. So this is the case. So attempt all the questions. And second thing, maintain speed. Writing speed, your writing speed initially might be very high, but in the between it will be average or below average. So maintain speed instead of writing very fast in the beginning only, and then writing it in a very slow. Maintain a pace, maintain a above average speed consistently throughout your 3 hours of your exams. Now After that, yes, during exams, please hydrate yourself. Have have water in between, because that gives you energy and that calms you down, because these 3 hours are very exhaustive. But yes, one thing before starting your exams, I will give you one real life example. One of my friends, she is a very hardworking and a very sincere girl. She worked very hard during my May 22 attempt, but I had always seen her carrying books during till 2 o'clock, till the bell rings. She always used to study and study, but she couldn't clear the exams in the first go. So I will suggest your your mind needs peace before attempting those three exhaustive hours. So please have at least 2 to 3 hours break before appearing for exams. Don't carry any material, any books during to the examination hall, because your preparation needs to be so good, so well, that you don't need to carry, you don't need to study till the last minute. So avoid that. And one more thing, that during exams, don't refer anything new. Don't refer any new material. Just refer the notes or the books, ICIS books, or any other reference material that you had followed beforehand only. No new material, even if that material is short in size or has less pages. Don't refer that material. That is not going to help you. Just refer from what you have already studied. Now, coming to the MCQ based papers, there are 4 papers in final and CA inter, in which we have 30 marks of MCQs. Please utilize those 15 minutes of reading in solving those MCQs first, because if I always attempted the MCQs first, because that MCQs will straight away give you 30 marks. Your mind will be at peace that, my god, my 30 marks are secured now, whatever your score might be, but at least you have attempted the 30 marks. So please attempt the MCQs first. Utilize the reading time in MCQs only. Now, in life, whenever there is option, there is confusion. So coming to the questions, when the next 5 total, there are 6 questions, and we have to, first one is compulsory. So in the next one, be assured that you select the right answer, right options, because people, they select the wrong one at the first glance, and then they write at least 10 marks of it, and then just they cut it and write another one. That is not going to help you to cover the whole paper. So be confident which option you have to select, which questions you are going to face, and which questions will fetch you the most marks. For CA final, there is one elective paper. Paper 6 is elective paper. Please focus on that paper also. At least revise twice for that paper, because that might fetch you the most marks, with at least half of the preparation and half of the hard work you have done for the rest papers. So focus on the elective paper as well. It is very much important. Then for the next, for again coming to our 3 hours strategy. In between, take at least a minute break, drink water, as I mentioned earlier, because your body must be very much tired. It is not easy to face all the papers just one after the another, because in a foreign courses, they have that option to attempt one subject at a time, or in a group or 2 subjects at a time. They conduct quarterly exams, but our exams, the special thing about it is 8 papers, everything at one go, 2 groups, 8 papers, and that too, the content is like ocean. It's never end. So be focused. It relax. If if a paper is tough. Some papers are tough in sense, some parts of it are tough. There might be situation that the compulsory question would be very tough. So don't take stress. uh, if your preparation is well, and if there are some parts of it are tough, then just tell to your mind, tell to your heart that this question is going to be tough for everyone. If it is going to be tough for me, it is going to be tough for everyone. So that the all will be at par. But for that, you need to have good preparation. If your preparation is not good, then you cannot tell that the paper was tough, and you cannot blame anyone. So even if some papers have been tough in the past, but the weightage of that paper or the tough part has been around almost 25 to 30 or maximum 35 marks. But you have the other 60 to 65 marks in your hand, and you can definitely score above around 50 or above 50 in the toughest paper also. So don't keep that in mind, that this paper is going to be tough. If it is tough, you just be confident in your just be confident that you are going to face it. And if one paper is tough, be that much be that much powerful. You need power during these days, that this is not going to affect my next exams. That should not be done at any cost, because if one paper is tough, the other one is definitely going to be somewhat easy. So have that thing in mind. And as I said, yes, attempt all the questions also. And please don't discuss the papers after coming from the examination center. You don't know what answer is right, so please avoid discussing paper, because that thing might happen that three people must have got one answer, but that might be wrong, and you must have assumed that this is the wrong, my answer is wrong, and you would just repent over those marks gone. But in reality, that your answer might be right. So please avoid discussing your answers. And mm, yes, if you are unsure that this part of the question I don't know, leave space for that. So that your presentation of paper is also very much important. Just scribbling around the whole paper and maintaining it in a very untidy way, that should not be done. So avoid doing those mistakes. So leave space for the part which you think it is tough, and you might refer it at the end of the paper. And yes, don't waste your time in attempting things that you are not sure. So attempt those things, attempt everything possible, but attempt that thing at the end of the paper. You have those 70 marks in your hand that you know everything about. So attempt those things first, leave space for everything. And second, most important thing is Modi ji ne kaha hai, maintain social distancing. So now maintain social distancing from social media as well. Don't during the exam days also. And even during the back days, the preparation days, the months before the exams, I uninstalled all the social media apps, because if you cannot handle it, you might waste, you won't even realize when you ended up wasting 2 hours in watching Instagram reels. So avoid everything that distracts you, avoid every person that distracts you, because your just main focus should be to have the prefix CA before your name. Trust me, when you will get to know when you will see your results, you will feel so much relaxed when you get to know that no, my name has the prefix CA. So work for that feeling. It gives you amazing feeling. And I think I have covered everything, almost everything. But can we have some question and answer session in between?
Yes, madam, we can have a session. So anyone who wishes to ask any questions can raise their hand. Anyone?
Hello.
Yes, Prakhar, please. I am here to welcome your questions.
Some people make some paper very much tough. They say that tax is very much hard. You will lose marks in tax. How to overcome the fear of some subjects that are tough?
So you are in the final examination. Uh,
Intermediate examination.
okay. So yeah, that is the true situation. Actually, some papers, some subjects are not that much easy to crack. Like auditing. Audit is the fear of almost everyone. Then, as you said, taxation. But the these are the papers that are going to make difference. That are going to make the difference in your marks. Taxation taxation is a very much practical subject. For that you need to have conceptual clarity. Concepts as in, just not mugging up or remembering the whole section, the whole sections, the provisions and everything. You should know, you should have the conceptual clarity first, because in taxation, in taxation, they are not going to ask you straightforward, they are not going to ask you straightforward mentioning of the sections. They are definitely, it is going to be a case study. For that you need to have, for most important, the conceptual clarity. Then again, in taxation also, it is a very vast subject, be it intermediate or in final. It is very very lengthy, direct taxes and indirect taxes. In that, you need to first categorize and prioritize your chapters. ABC analysis, like first A rated chapters, you should go through them in very much in depth. You should know all the provisions and all the concepts of those chapters very very much detail. And also, don't people, they make mistakes in taxation especially. They have the knowledge of the sections and provision well, but they don't know how to implement those sections and provisions in which questions. So for that you need to refer the practical questions of the ICI, other reference material as well. You need any further explanation from my side, Prakar?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
So anyone, guys?
Srishti, also
Yes, sir.
please guide the students on like how to answer a case study question.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. See, the new course, the new amendments in our whole study pattern is the whole questions, or the almost all the subjects are going to be, or they are in fact very much case study based. No, in the old course I have seen papers that they have asked direct questions, but in the new course it is going to be more and more case study only, like in all the other abroad and international courses. Case study, first thing to comprehend the case study is, first read the what are the requirements of the case study. First thing, be it your SCMP chapter, costing, or the elective paper, or any other auditing, any other paper. First read what is the requirement asked below the question. then you will have in your mind that what is actually required from this case study, and then read the case study. Otherwise, what will happen that you will read the whole case study and then you will go through the requirements and you will again search for the requirement in the case study. So first go through the requirement, because in case study they are going to make a lot of story in the beginning or in between. That is not going to be required. That is not actually useful information, just to make you make your reading time more and more. So first is focus on your requirements. Then second, don't be maintain your control your level of excitement. That I have especially seen what happens there in MCQ questions, especially that just read half of the question, then oh, this is the answer, but actually the requirements of the questions are very much specific. So read the whole requirement, whole question asked in the case study in very much in detail, and go through all the options as well, because there might be just a difference of or and end in text especially. So go through all the options also in MCQ based case studies. And for now, coming back to the our descriptive paper, case study are specially asked in audit and corporate law and taxes. So obviously it will be case study based, but in final level the costing paper has been made fully almost 75 to 80 marks. It is case study based only, very less weightage to practical questions. For that you need to refer the ICI's guideline, the ICI's guideline to no sorry ICI has issued booklets, case study booklets, MCQ case study booklets on some of the subjects. So please refer that material as well. It is very useful. It is very good material. Case study will you will able to face the case studies only. The key is only by reading and practicing more and more case studies. That is the only key that will help you and not just reading the questions of the institute. Read the suggested answers as well. You will get to know what the examiner or what the checker wants from you, what language is needed. This is a professional level based exam, so your school level language will not fetch you good marks. So practice more and more case studies and read the suggested answers in depth as well. And of course your concepts need to be very much clear. Have a good clarity about the standards on auditing, and then only you will able to face the case studies. So conceptual clarity is very much needed.
Hello, madam.
Yes.
Madam, what is the strategy to get exemption in financial reporting and strategic financial management, both subjects?
Okay, for examining
Yes,
final exam. Yes. So as I said earlier that for my financial reporting, I had started preparing for that 8 days before the exams. When I got to know that my friends started preparing before 3 days or 4 days. But uh, well begun is half done. Mark my words. So for the first paper, at least have 7 to 8 days of preparation. Do all the, like for financial reporting, you already know that business combination and CFS carry pretty much good weightage of around 20 to 25 marks, because as just going through the past trends, it is we can make it out that this index are going to be very much scoring. So focus on that first. And also in my attempt that I had observed that the indices which were not asked very frequently, they asked all those small indices of assets related in module number 2. They had asked, they had focused on different indices and not just focusing on more on like financial instruments. So for that try to, for financial reporting, I will say that you can cover all the indices because in the during for the next papers, you might not have, you will definitely not have enough time to cover all the subject, to cover all the chapters and all the contents that you have done. But for financial reporting, that is the first paper for intermediate accounting, and for financial for final level it is financial reporting. You definitely have good time. So try to cover all the chapters, all the index, because it is a practical subject. For financial reporting, the format of the answer, the pattern and the presentation is very much important as well. So for financial reporting, if they ask you what is what will be the conclusion, don't jump to the calculation part first. First explain the index, like as per index this so and so, what are the requirements, what are the legal compliances as per this index, then go to the calculation part, and then go to the conclusion part. For SFM, for final examination, this is the most practical subject. But for practical subjects as well, please don't ignore your theory portion. Theory carry at least 20 to 25 marks. So I am not saying that you should do all the theory part of all the chapters, but there are chapters like chapter one, first three chapters, the startup finance. So focus on that chapters, and focus on the theory part as well, because you know your three, if you just completely ignore your theory, you are definitely going to just lose 20 to 25 marks straight away. So focus on theory as well, because theory, and do the theory before on the exam day in the morning, so you will have a fresh memory of that.
Ma'am,
Yes.
yeah, in case of case study based questions, should we mention the situation in our answer, or should we skip that part?
um See, I think you should you should write some gist what is given in the case study, not just writing the whole big paragraph about what is given in the question. That will give the impression of yours in the mind of the checker, as in you don't know what you have to write as an answer, you're just copying from the question. But you should definitely have what is given in the case study, but before that, mention what is actually given in the study material, or what should be the solution about it as per the legal sections, or the essays in case of audit, or in case of SCMB, the costing in at final level. uh, Write what the concept is about, then write what is given in the case study, or just of what is given in the case study, and then reach to your conclusion. But you should definitely have some, you should definitely write what some part, the most important part of what is given in the case study. Yes, Madhvi. Anyone else?
Anyone else?
Ma'am, will our handwriting be considered by examiners?
No. That this is not our board exams or school level exams, but at least have a proper handwriting. But not much importance is given on the handwriting. But main thing is the keywords, the flow of the keywords. Have you write your sentences in a more professional based level, and not in a kiddish way. But handwriting, as in just eligible readable handwriting should be there, but not much importance to handwriting.
Still anyone? They can unmute themselves and ask doubts. I guess everyone is here to ask questions directly. So I'll enable the chat box so that students can ask their doubts through the chat box.
Oh, yes, sure.
Now I've enabled the chat box so that students can ask their doubts.
Okay, Madhvi, I got your question. So, now the 10 days are left for May exam. Start preparing. I guess you might have revised all the subjects now, because now revision is done. Now, last stage is preparation is done. Now the execution level starts. So for the next 10 days, focus on the first two papers or group one of our exams. So for the first 3 days, you might revise paper two and paper three. Some parts of audit also had revised, and then focus more on the first paper. So if your first paper goes well, your confidence will be boosted. So focus vision is done, is left. Then start revising that subject along with paper one, and not just keeping the paper one last time revision before the exam at the end. So do simultaneous revision of what is left and what is what is needed to be done for the exams. Okay. Next question is how to prepare for group 2 examinations. Okay, so if you have to prepare only for the group 2, then this is a better situation, because group 1 you need not to worry about group 1. You think group 2, two papers are fully theory based, technology and strategic management. So for those two papers are going to be a little bit tougher than the other two papers. So in that, what you should do is focus. You should be, you are lucky that you have two practical papers in group 2, the financial management part and economic part is more on the practical subject. So try to get at least exemption in those two papers. So aggregate will be done for audit paper 6 and 7. Theory, these two chapters will require, these two papers will require more hard work, definitely, because these papers have a lot of content actually. But you need to have good preparation for that, because you cannot write anything in your own language. You need to have the conceptual clarity, as I said before, and maintain the language for both these papers also. But if you think that you are not able to cope up with the IT part more, then focus on the SM part in very much depth. do the IT part also as much as possible. But for the strategic management subject, just give your best, because you know that if you are able to get good marks in the strategic management part, then your paper will be balanced. For each mark, maximum how much time will we give during examination of the see, actually, for each mark, some questions, some question might be of 10 marks, but will take lesser time than the question which is of 5 marks, because the requirement of the question is such. So before, just instead of fixing that only this much time is needed to be done in this much time is required to be done for this question, for all the questions, don't have a uniform rule for yourself that one question needs to be done in half an hour only. No, your this question might take 45 minutes, but the other question might take only 20 minutes. So don't have a uniform rule for each mark. Instead, you just have a goal that at least half an hour, there are 5 questions, you have to attend 5 questions. So have that goal that in half an hour to 35 minutes I have to finish one question. I have observed that the compulsory question takes a little bit 5 to 7 minutes more than the other questions, the optional questions. So have a maintain average speed, and that is the only key that will help. The see, for remembering uh, sections, you are able to remember only if you have revised it more. But in case if you are not able to learn all these sections, then don't write wrong section number, because that will lose marks, that you will definitely lose more marks instead of writing it, instead of not writing it. So if you are not sure which section number is required to be written in that question, leave that part and don't write anything. If only if you are sure, just write it down. But first thing, if you want to revise the section number, then write a list of the section and what the section is about. So you just want in mentioning one line what this section is about, and don't remember the subsections. That is very very difficult, so don't remember the subsections. And penalty in law, for penalty in law, I had honestly I had not mugged all the penalties. I had only revised the penalties of for corporate law and final level. You must be knowing that the director chapters are very much important. So only some part of the penalty had done. I had leave that part. As I said earlier, you should know what not to do. So just don't focus more and more on the penalty part, and instead of not doing the sections are going to fetch you more marks. Ma'am, please share the strategy. See, the strategy, the strategies that I had followed is just the same that I had been saying the last 1 hour. It is just the same. But what differentiates your marks than the other is your preparation and execution mode. So now your preparation needs to be that much strong that you must have completed almost all the important chapters, not just once. Revise at least 3 to 4 times. For the last months before the exams, I had made a pattern like in 4 months all the subjects are to be revised, then in the next 2 months again all these subjects are to be revised, but at a fast speed. And the last days is last 1 month, last 18 to 20 days you have to revise all these subjects. So first give 15 days to each subject, then in the next revision give 7 days to each subject, and in the the third revision give 2 to 3 days for each subject. And of course in the last 1.5 day, if you pen down your whole entire schedule, you will get to know which chapters you have to do during the exam and which chapters you don't have to do. And for scoring more marks means that you should know more and more of the content, not everything, but definitely more and more of the content is required. Because if you leave a particular chapter which is important, and that chapter might carry around 10 to 15 marks in the exam. So avoid not doing the important chapters, even if that chapter or that particular content is hard. You might not like it, but you might like it. Then you will definitely love CA before your name, right? So for that thing you should do it. And maintain good language. You are appearing for a professional level exam, and one of the most reputed fields in the country. So yeah, definitely your checker requires a good language, and that is what it requires. Your persistence and hard work is the key. Law I understand conceptually, but I don't grasp these totally. See, Tushar, yeah, I know that in law, if you have it is a subject that might give you good conceptual clarity easily than audit. But for your situation will only be resolved by revising it more and more. There is no other easy shortcut for you. But if you think that you are not able to revise the whole thing, then for example, for the corporate law, revise thoroughly the director part. Leave some chapters like winding up, and some other theory chapters at your own risk. That too at your own risk. Because luck is if luck is with you, nothing much will be asked from that chapter. So here you have to do risk analysis, cost benefit analysis, as we say, for your query. And for that you need to go through the past trends of the papers, and not just having in mind that this chapter had the weightage of around 15 to 20 marks in the last exam, so this will not be asked in this exam. So don't have that perception, don't have that conception that last time this chapter was asked, so this time that might not be asked. Like in auditing, we have that notion. So don't have that uh, don't believe that just by referring one last paper. Instead of that, I had referred at least 6 to 7 attempts paper, and refer as much as possible of RTPs and MTPs, and not just your attempt RTP and MTP. The previous RTPs and MTPs are also needed to be revised. How to score good marks in EIS and SM? So see, EIS is a chapter, is a subject that it is it is harder than the other part. But as I mentioned earlier, that the SM part is comparatively is easier than IT. I can assure that. So focus more on the SM part. Have the conceptual clarity of all. If you are not able to do the IT part whole, then make sure that you don't leave anything in the SM part at least. So your paper will be balanced. And in the IT part also, for the ITSM chapter, EISSM is the past trends are, I think, during my inter, that is 4 years back. The past trends, I could not just find a particular past trends of questions for EIS, because the subject is so vast. I think they can, have at least 300 marks paper for that subject alone. But we have 50 marks weightage for EIS. So just focus which concepts you are able to grasp more. And for EIS, you will not be able to revise, learn everything. Is not You will not be able to revise everything. So in that, for that particular subject, need to focus on the keywords, and then maintain a good language, and you will be able to at least have good marks. Institute is no institute will give you good, but in SM, institute is not giving full marks for correct answers. No, this is a myth. This is not true. See, your SM in SM, again I will mention that if your language is not maintained in a proper way, then you will definitely lose marks. So this is not the case that institute will not give you good marks if your answer is right, and right as in a good level of language, then only you will able to get good marks. Not just writing the keywords will help you maintain a proper flow of your answer also. Any more questions?
Any more question, guys? I guess all the students have completed their doubts, madam. So thank you,
Okay.
madam. Thank you so much for giving your wonderful time to us.
There's one more
There's
question.
one.
Yes. How to improve language in theory paper? See, this is the question of many students. So the only solution is by writing more and more, have more and more writing practice. Write as many as possible papers, so that just a second. How to improve that? Write more and more papers for the main problem. This problem is mainly for audit papers, because the language is very much professional. So just write more and more. Practice is the only key. And again I will say, refer the suggested answers of the institute as well. When if you are solving the papers, you will definitely not, you are not going to write every paper that you go through, past papers that you go through. So when you are solving it orally, at least read all the suggested answers of the ICI as well. How to carry the previous exams emotions to the current exam? I didn't get the question. Can you please elaborate? We'll go to the next one instead. How to adjust 1 day gap for FM and eco? See, after coming from your paper 7, go for financial, the FM part, that is the practical part. Because when you come to the last days of the exam, especially the last 2 exams are so tiring and so exhaustive that you push your mind and your body to just study, because your emotional and mental level has been at the peak of your life. We will definitely feel that. So after coming from your 7th paper, focus on the FM part, the practical chapters that are easy and yet important and will require less time. And after the exam, before the exam day, in the morning also again focus on the FM important chapters. Then during the day, take a nap and then start with the eco part. I remember for my economics part, I had highlighted the most important part and had made my own notes of what important things are, because the economic textbook is very vast. But refer all the back questions after the end of the chapter that are given in the textbook. And FM again during before on the exam day, in the morning refer the theory part of FM. Okay, if the exam has not gone well, how to handle the next exam? See, this will help, not definitely, but there are high chances that one or two of the papers, all the papers are not going to be at par. In one paper you will score 70 and 80, but in the other part, in the next part, you will actually count whether I'm going to pass the paper or not. That happens. But but when if one of your paper is not good, not up to your level or what you had thought, but have that much confidence in yourself that the next paper is definitely going to be in your code, like the you are definitely going to face it very well. So if you lose your hope, then you will lose the result also. So this is not a school level exam. You are not going to get 100 or 90. Instead, just focus on how to maintain the average. If a particular paper, if you think that I might score only 40 or 45, so believe that you are going to score at least 40 if you think that this paper didn't get well. So instead, so focus on the next paper, that I have to score 60 in that paper, and you will definitely get that. So just be confident in yourself. Which is better to fill OMR sheet, pencil or pen? Pencil is better, because if you think you have to change your answer, so have HB pencil for marking MCQ. If I prepare 7 to 8 chapters perfectly out of 10 chapters, is the good practice of preparation if there is time? As I said that this is definitely, if you are able to prepare at least 8 chapters perfectly out of the 10 chapters, then remember you're going to score 80. So I mean, you have prepared for the 80 marks or 85 marks in of the 8 chapters, but make sure that the chapters that you have left, the 2 or 3 chapters you have left, they don't have that much weightage in the past papers, in the last 5 to 6 papers. So don't leave that chapter that has more weightage. So instead of leaving that, leave that chapter that does not carry good, does not have more weightage. But this is perfectly okay if this is time constraint for yourself, then just but do those 8 chapters perfectly. Is there any chances of getting questions from RTP or MTPs? See, even if there are less chance that even if there are no chance that even if no question is asked from the RTP or MTP, but you will have that much confidence that you have faced this question and you are able to solve it. So it will boost your confidence, and you should definitely solve the RTP and MTP. You don't know if they are going to ask or not. And as I said, not just your attempt RTP and MTP. Refer the RTPs of the previous attempts as well.
So any more questions, guys? So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving your wonderful time. And,
Nani,
sir.
let me take a couple of minutes before you conclude the meeting. Thank you so much, Shrusthi, for accepting our invitation. And it was like so nice. The last 1 hour of your deliberations, I believe like they definitely like helped our students a lot. People like apart from Visakhapatnam branch also joined for this session. So I strongly believe what are the deliberations you gave like are definitely useful. Like you said, like few points like not to mention, even like I feel the same. So when you don't know the exact section, it's better to say like as per the provisions of income tax will do.
Yes,
Instead of
definitely.
wrong section, that will do. So likewise, like every tip what you said is a strategy. I strongly believe all my students have taken good inputs from you, and thank you so much from my side and from my branch side who helped a lot to organize this session and all. And I congratulate my team, SICASA team also for organizing this wonderful event. Thank you so much. Over to the Vice Chairman.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for your wonderful time to direct
pleasure.
it. Yes, madam. Now I would like to proceed the further proceedings to our secretary, Mr. Pushpa.
Yeah, thank you, Nani. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much, ma'am, for taking this session and for guiding our students, suggesting, motivating, and giving your tips, valuable tips. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I thank the CA Prakash sir and CS Swarup sir for joining us. And I would like to thank each and every student from every branch and the member also joining with us. And the ma'am gave so many tips which are useful for our students, like regarding health, regarding social distance, regarding effective reading, everything ma'am said. And regarding the subjects like value of 1 mark also ma'am said that. So I think every student will follow that question. So the value of concept also ma'am said that. So from now onwards, I think every student will follow your words, ma'am. So they will read according to their concepts. So and they will crack their exams. And thank you, ma'am, for solving the, answering for every student. And thank you so much, ma'am. And
I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear.
as we all know, becoming a chartered accountant is not an easy feat, but with hard work, determination, and the right resources, it can be achieved. Our podcast channel aims to be one of those resources. We will be bringing you unsung stories, CA aspirants, success stories, interviews with successful CS, discussion on the latest developments in the industry, and practical tips and advice to help you on your journey to becoming a CA. I believe this podcast will be an invaluable tool for CA students across the country, and we are excited to bring it to you. Details will be announced soon. And I thank you everyone for joining this session. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time.
Thank you for having me, and I wish all the very best for these students for the upcoming exams. Thank you, sir, for having me.
Thank you,